Good day, guys. So today we'll be looking at what is a PCB. A PCB is a board used to mechanically support and electrically connect electronics components. This is just a simple explanation. So you can see a PCB here. This green board you're seeing here, that is what is called a PCB. Then the components, the electronics components are actually laid on top the board, either at the top layer or at the bottom layer. And so we also have here that it forms the backbone of modern electronics devices. Modern electronics devices use PCB. Before, in the old times, we have what we call a breadboard. We use breadboard, and in the 90s, breadboards to connect our components together and to connect them electrically also. But since technology starts evolving, we started using the printed circuit board. It's made of non-conductive substrates with copper traces. Provide mechanical support for components. This is very important. It actually provides mechanical support for components. This means this is where the components actually lay on the PCB board, then it's being soldered. So as you can see here on the image, this is a microcontroller, this is the inductor, the crystal, and they are on top of the PCB. Then the PCB is providing electrical connection between one pin or one part of the component to the other so that communication can be established on your whole system. Then connects components electrically with soldered copper traces. This is what I just said. So this is just the basic function and attribute of a PCB. And we'll learn how to design a PCB board also. That's what we are going to learn. Then we also have types of printed circuit board. We have the single layer PCB, which is copper layer on one side. So the single layer PCB just have copper layer on one side, either at the top of the board. So all your connections and your components are just on one side of the board. That is what a single layer PCB is. Then also have a double-sided PCB. So it has copper layer both at the top and at the bottom. And components also can also be at the top and at the bottom for double-sided PCB board. And for double-sided PCB board, we now introduce what we call plated through holes, which are also called vias. We'll introduce what we call vias. So we are going to learn vias when we start doing PCB layout, component placement, and others. We will learn how to use vias, how to connect the top layers to the bottom layers. Then we also have the multi-layer PCB board. So the multi-layer PCB board has four layers, four copper layers and above. This is more complex and high density design. Yet it uses advanced electronics. So for the multi-layer boards, it has about from four copper layers and above. So for the single layer board uses one copper layer, the double layer board uses two copper layer top and bottom, and the multi-layer board has multiple copper layers. We'll have the top copper layer, have the bottom copper layer, and we'll have copper layers in between the top and the bottom copper layer, which is very necessary when designing some high density boards, when designing some complex boards, and it also dependent on the shape of your design. So this is very important. So I want you guys to share this video, like, and also comment. Thank you guys.